In this video, we'll cover what some of the basics of the learning marketplace are, the focus on ethical action toolkits, and how we plan to support course creators in publishing courses via the Greater Than Learning platform. We'll cover the phases we propose to validate toolkits for effectiveness and some of the future iterations we envision will enable the whole ecosystem to learn. This lesson is focused on helping you to get an understanding of what the learning marketplace is and how course creators will be supported in the process of designing and publishing learning experiences. Then, to begin exploring together how a distinct focus on validating toolkits for ethical action can evolve to support as many people and organizations as possible to close the ethical intent to action gap. Most of you will get this. Platform marketplaces are pretty common, supporting matching of buyers with sellers, supply with demand. In this sense, we can think about the learning marketplace through this lens. There are makers and creators that want to share their models, methods, and techniques for designing a better world with others. There are subject matter experts in their fields and those that want to learn this subject matter. Course creators can design a course and learning experience, package it, price it, and publish it to the marketplace. This might be individual practitioners and subject matter experts, but will also be organizations focused on ethical change that already have toolkits they've developed. Let's now cover toolkits and what we actually mean by this. This is a term that you might hear thrown around a great deal. So let's start with our definition. A toolkit is a set of interrelated models, methods, and techniques that help achieve distinct outcomes. Let's unpack that with a couple of brief examples. When attempting to evolve a business model, a practitioner might bring together the business model canvas, distinct spreadsheet templates, tools for running experiments like doing A/B tests, a website builder, and a payment services provider. This toolkit helps to design, test, and validate better business models. Let's look at another one. Someone wants to design a contract that is fair, easy to understand, and simple to act on. A practitioner can bring together the better disclosure canvas, distinct metrics and methods for testing them, the contract design pattern library, Hemingway app text editor, a tool like Mural for rapid visual collaboration, a design tool like Figma, and a simple prototyping tool like Envision. This toolkit helps break down, redesign, test, and progressively validate a better contracting experience. Part of the problem we're solving is to make it easier for creators of these toolkits to design action-oriented learning experiences that enable more people to learn how to use them effectively. There's many more examples we can cover in the forum discussions, but for now, I'm sure you get the point. Let's look at how people like yourself can become course creators and be supported through the process. There are 3 areas of focus here. One is learning by doing. We want to support course creators with a distinct course that will guide them through the course creation process, getting some of the fundamentals of instructional design, working knowledge of the theoretical underpinnings and pedagogical models that can be used, and progressively using a toolkit to design a course curriculum, a clear proposition, the learning content, lesson activities planning, and even get support from a community of course creators going on the journey as well. 2, earning money and building your reputation. Publishing a course to the marketplace and charging money for it means you are making a promise to the person purchasing it, that they might learn something, you state they will, or that they get certain skills and knowledge as a result. Your reputation as a course creator is built and broken based upon delivering on your proposition. If people doing your course get value and are able to achieve the outcomes that matter, this will be reflected. If they don't, well, you get the picture. 3 is a focus on continuous improvement. This is crucial and will have mechanisms baked into the platform that enable the outcomes being promised to be progressively validated and for improvements to be made to things like content and delivery. The infrastructure we're building is part of this. It will also evolve and improve. Regular cycles of feedback and iteration will just become a normal part of operating and what the community is working persistently towards. This leads to an important part of what we believe is needed. These toolkits as models, methods, and techniques being learned and used need broader validation. We want to broaden the ability for these toolkits that people use to undergo validation. In many cases, there should be evidence backing any approach, but none of this is exact science. So a process for continual improvement and validation of these toolkits is pretty crucial. So there's 3 phases to this. The first is the process of an ethical changemaker adopting and learning about how to use a specific toolkit. They'll go through a course and have this toolkit connected and mapped to distinct learner outcomes. This can be measured and tracked over time quite easily. Second is use and validation. This happens throughout the course and as the platform and community evolves in the professional context in which these toolkits are being used. This might be through community challenges or distinct course assignments. As we push forward with the vision, also through collaboration with academic institutions, foundations and organizations, workplace training programs, and integrations with the tools people use in their everyday work. Lastly, the iteration enhancement phase. This is about using insights on the effectiveness of a toolkit to support people in achieving the stated outcomes that matter, like improving comprehension on consumer-facing legal agreements, encouraging open discussions in sprint planning on ethical challenges at work. It might also be, in other situations, things like reducing algorithmic bias or the negative downstream consequences of a new digital product that's about to be deployed to market. Although there's varying time horizons on all this, the insights should be fed back to course creators and the community at large to support the next iteration of the toolkit and ultimately enhancement of the learning experience designed to teach its use. What supports us all in closing the gap is making validated learning fundamental to the platform ecosystem. When designing ecosystems, there are 3 phases to this. One is making it easier for people to get from 0 to 1. This is in basically the onboarding phase and will be about improving the ability to match something like new community members to courses that are relevant, making it easier and faster for people to realize value. 2 builds on this and is about improving the ability for all stakeholders in the ecosystem to learn, be that community members, regulators, decision makers in business, and also the customers that those businesses serve. The toolkit validation is an important aspect here, but also the ability to decentralize the infrastructure we're building and distribute insights that everyone's getting at scale and speed. 3 is enhancing the transformation potential the platform can have for the whole ecosystem. This is kind of partly baked into our strategy as we seek to take people on the journey of evolving our technology, our business model, and our governance structure, but also about connecting to other ecosystems, technologies, and communities, bridging systems with new interfaces like APIs. This might be to support connecting the learnings and insights to specific information sharing initiatives like consumer data rights or open banking, as an example, to support regulatory framework discussions or shaping and transforming the incentive systems that drive market behavior. Ultimately, this will come from self-organizing properties of the community and ecosystem, something we'll discuss in the forums. By working together to learn, to grow, and to support each other to follow through on our ethical intent, we can benefit the community and the broader ecosystem. With lots of tiny steps, and through connecting, collaborating, committing to ethical change, and supporting one another to own the consequences, we can and will close the ethical intent to action gap.